Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that interruption. I think most of the people are experiencing the challenge ambayo sisi wote tuna experience ya hii app ya Elon Musk. But we are back and we continue. As I said earlier, please request for the mic. Tell us what your experience was. And there's a pin I had put somewhere. That is where we are going to get back. And that means I'm getting back to you, Alex, about the logistics. There was a garage, right?
Yes.
Where was the garage?
So the garage for the rally.
Yes.
Ile service park, I think. The service
So
park.
the garage was at
Yes.
service park, that's in Naivasha.
Uh-huh.
So what happens is you look for sponsors. So in essence, Kenya Airways was a major sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is with sponsorship, you don't necessarily have to give money. You can say, just bring all your cars, I'll ship them for free to Kenya. So Hyundai, Toyota na nani, you pack your cars into your boxes, zeka kwa ndege, zikitoka JKA, direct hadi service park. So in essence, service park, the one in Naivasha, is the command area. That's where you put all your tools, all your stuff, and all your equipment. So on a logistical array, again, depending on your money, guys like Toyota would come with their chefs, they come with their water, and hata wanakuwa na someone local wakwenda kwa baya manyanya, nyama, and things like that. So logistically, it's a nightmare because WRC moves around, iko ka F1. So leo watakuja Kenya, kesho wabebe mizigo yao yote. Like Toyota, I think, had 16 containers, which is interesting. So they had cars. No, they had 4 cars that were competing. They had 6 extra cars za kufanya riki, ya kutoa parts and whatnot. But hizi gari zote ni carbon copy of each other. They had turbos, gearboxes, engines, body parts, windscreens, helmets. So wengine hata wanabebanga jikoni zao, a full kitted kitchen. Hyundai had bicycles for their riders and their staff. So kitoka, wengine hata walikuja na a full gym that works. So like logistically, this normally happens 2 weeks before the rally. Mm-hmm. So your cars would come, JKA, 1 day clearance, immediately zipelekwe huko, unload, set up your garage, nini, and any job. Wengine wataka kuhire a few guys maybe locally. So ni vitu chap. But now, a month also before the rally, guys are hired. Now, only marshals, wasa communications, wasa handle radio, makarao, madoki. This is because of a rally is not a daily thing, you hire contractors or consultants. So what happens is you go to Aga Khan, uambie niko na rally next week, I need 10 doctors wanifanye support. Unaenda Tropical Air, unaambia niko na rally next week, I need somewhere to mount my camera and I need that. So all this happens a month before the race. But the actual thing you'll actually see is 1 week to 2 weeks before the race, utaanza kucheki movements. But a month before, guys have started going for training, wasasha user manuals, matisho, mashati, so that you at least get familiar with some stuff. The reason for this is, so I'll talk mostly of what I was doing. On a safety perspective, safety has to be really key. You have to understand, one, the car that you're going to handle, the people that you're going to handle, and you have to do drills. So in essence, kama sa medical waliambiwa niaje, umsasima mpata accident alafu steering ipite kwa kifua, how do you do something like that? So mnaangalia all your equipment, vitu kama hiyo, how do you resuscitate people like this and things like that. So mara moja watachukua really good doctors from really good hospitals, alafu hasa wanaambiwa niaje, choose 2 other people that watakuflank, so people that watakuwa kando yako wakusaidie. Then they come to us na tuambia niaje, tunataka msi akona 4x4 na iko na winch na unaweza beba equipment which is around 200 to 300 kgs. The purpose for that is some of the equipment we were carrying in the car, one, kuna 2 fire extinguishers, kuna fire suits, na kuna kitu ito halmatro. So a halmatro is something you call a spreader cutter. So if these guys crash and lazima tuwatoe kwa gari, you have to chop the car. Some of those things are hydraulic, some of them are electric, and one of those things is around 40-50 kgs, and you might even have to carry maybe 4 of them and things like that. And then of course you have water, you have supplies, because in a rally that would start at around 8, sisi lazima tuko kwa stage at around. The purpose for the defense is normally spectators would come into the stage, which is fine, but now the course sa barabara wasata rally lazima ifungwe before, so that you're not doing 150 kph then some guy in a Honda Fit anarudi the other way around, so the rally has to be closed. And that's why before the rally 6 cars will pass, so there's a safety car itazunguka the whole course ikwambie niaje nyinyi mko karibu sana na barabara, because Kenyans are Kenyans, Ugandans are Ugandans. What happens is you are allowed to go inside the course, yes, but once the stage is live, so that's 3 hours before the first car passes, the road is closed. The purpose for the road closure is to make sure watu hawatembei katikati ya barabara, and also to make sure guys are at a safe distance for these cars, because if this car is doing 160 kph alafu ikate steering, itapanda crowd or itapita kwa safe. And that's why you have preset spectator stages. Amwezi ambiwa sasa endeni vile mnataka, because once there's 1,000 people katikati, it's now a safety risk, and that's why stages are closed before. So we'd go into the stage. I think hata tuliamsha King is still really early. He woke up at I think 3:30, because we were sleeping in Naivasha. We have to go all the way to Kikopey, then down inside Soisambu. So you have to wake up really early. Of course kuna traffic, guys know that. So guys will even go and the Hell's Gate. I think Hell's Gate we're gonna jump from 2 a.m. on Sunday. So we have to close that road so that it's more of a safety issue. So the first car would pass, then chief medical apite pia angalia all the doctors, mko na kila kitu, mko na equipment, mko na radio, sawa. So and then once all these cars have passed, so of course most of you guys have heard about the Toyota 00 car, which is a really important person. So that 00 car is atazunguka the whole track, make sure everything is safe, nini. And then another, so there's 3 cars. There's 00, no, there are 3 cars with 3 zeros, ingine iko na 2 zeros, na ingine iko na 1 zero. So in essence is 3, 2, 1 alafu start. So the first 3 zeros will pass. Yes, the 000 that you guys had. So in essence, the first car would pass, angalia kila kitu, second car would pass, third car would pass. And then immediately the third car passes, then the stage is live. Once the stage is live, hata ngombe kubali kupita katikati. Kipito igongwe, that's just unfortunate. Like the road is closed and that's it. And that's even one of the reasons why the race is taken to private ranches, because you can control entry and exit, as opposed to some road huko nyuma Kirinyaga, mtoi maybe anapita na maji, you know. It's mostly a safety issue. So ndio maana itaenda Masoisambu, and of course people would say well inaenda kwa shamba kubwa and what not, but if you actually understand the inner workings of how, and also it's trying to get back, because I think around 82-84 it was not regulated, like wasongere hata kisi ndani. And there's a time a guy driving an Audi, he passed through a crowd of like 60 guys, and I think 10-15 people died, and that's even one of the reasons why it was cancelled, because safety was not a major issue. Can your car go fast? Yes. Is it 1,500 kgs and less? Yes. Ukitaka take a 4 engines, bora it works. So
I think
it's a nightmare. Yeah.
I think that safety thing is something that the FIA have been working on for so long for motorsport, and
Yes.
People don't really understand. But I have a question before we endelee.
Mhm.
In a couple of the sections where people could spectate, maybe they were just being unruly, but kuna places they were getting really, really, really close to the track. Is it allowed? Na uko ndani, is it allowed, or they're just being unruly? Because safety is the same for any part of the track.
Well, it's not exactly white and black. So assuming a rally starts at 8, right? And you go into that place at around 3. Hakuna mtu atakukataza. You can go anywhere you want. But anywhere you'd be, like kuna places zenye wamekurecommend ukue. And ukiingia utaambiwa huwezi kwa place fulani, So when those safety cars are passing, atakwambia huwezi kwa hapo. You have to move back 10 meters alafu ateka tape. The reason for that tape is umse once ashachimba shimo mbili alafu aike tape, and then you hit by that car or mawe while Otanak is doing 200 kph, mawe kulimekwa kichwa udedi. Asa insurance atakuja waone niaje kulikuwa shimo mbili na kulikuwa na tape hapa. Hakuna mtu atakulipa share. But now fans are always fans, and normally ndio maana hata kuna marshals atakwambia niaje just move back. It's just another safety protocol. But ideally these cars are moving so fast and it's not even the car itself that can kill you. Hii gari ikizunguka saa zingine inaingiza tu mawe kwa rim.
Yeah.
Wakati anapiga kona hiyo mawe inatoka hapo kafea inakuingia kwa kisogo ile hujaiona. So that's why you even told you need to be 30 to 50 meters off the road. Because juzi while we were doing juzi kuna gari ya mse alimove kwa track from there, songa nyuma kiasi too close. Umse yako na VIP pass nini sijui mso status, his windscreen broke. Tukiona tu tunamwambia too close because hiyo mawe ikirudi hakuna kile utadu. And marshals pia wameambiwa humans are unruly. Wewe waambie wasonge, wakikataa kusonga we'll send you 2 cops tuwajaribu kusonga, but wakikataa there's nothing we can do. So 2 things FIA will do. Wakiona mmekuwa too much they'll cancel a stage, and that's what happened at Kedong. Mafans walianza kuingia kwa barabara, they just cancel it, wanaenda somewhere else. So unabaki hapo unangoja gari hadi jioni, kumbe wamesonga. So that's one of the things that they do. But at all points safety is really key. For one, spectators, the drivers themselves, because each driver has something called a lifeline. So a lifeline is a lot of sensors in your body that tells you how you're breathing, if you're sweating, if you're losing water, your heart rate, and things like that. So there's a medical platform somewhere at rally control that inajua mtu ana breathe poa ama mtu breathe kabisa. So and there are different things. Kuna button and ukifinya helicopter itakuja immediately, and in a course of around 30 kilometers there's like 4 helicopters just chilling na ziko tu ready. Pilot wako tu hapo na WhatsApp wakisikia tu oya enda place flani, immediately in 2 minutes there'll be a helicopter there with a doctor usaidiwe uende Madu or Aga Khan or whatever that is. But at all points the major thing about safety is safe competitive motorsport. So all those 3 has to be pamoja. So the safety is easy for spectators, drivers, and of course officials. The competitiveness ndio maana kuna rally 1, rally 2, rally 3. So Hyundai's, the Volkswagens, the Fords and whatnot, whatever in one League 1, they have money, and Gazoo Racing is actually an R&D team of Toyota and Yamaha. So while they're testing new tech that probably will get in the cars in 2030. So wanna test carbon fiber, wanna test a new 1.3 3-cylinder engine that pushes 400 horsepower and things like that. And then wasa gonna do slightly less when in rally 2. You still have money, but you don't have Toyota money. And then kuna rally 3, and then kuna Kenya Motorsport. So hivyo. So guys in the same sort of money range watakuwa in one sector. And hata in that sector pia mtakuwa so limited. Ndio usikuje na Subaru yako umeka turbo inatoshana na Vitz mzima. So your turbo also has to be, they have to be the same, na itaangaliwa. Ikifika usiku balishe turbo, asubuhi wataangaliwa kwa mbeniaje, this is not fair, you're out. So guys are cancelled for things like that. Yeah.
I think
Okay, please go ahead.
And I got 2 pointers that I'd like to put across that. So Alex, so you mentioned about safety nini. So there was that controversial video that came about, the one whereby Chris Smith rolled in his vehicle and then the marshals were just there chilling, they were recording. So in that instance, who was really to blame? Because I think that video really shed a lot regarding how we respond to emergencies. Because Green Smith himself was calling and he was like, yo, help me. And then till when he freed himself out, it was like, you had one fucking job, So that was an instance which I think we slacked a bit. So what would you recommend such instances? As well as...
Okay. Unfortunately, it's a driver's issue. Here's why. Umse, in his car, he has 7 different safety points. He has a button tu akifinya, atasema, niko kwa shida, kujeni munisaidie. And marshals are not at any point allowed to touch the cars. Here's why. You are one marshal, you do not have the right equipment to handle these cars. Remember, these cars are hybrid, and gari ki overturn, it might be a safety risk in terms of voltage leaking into the frame, in as much as the car is carbon fiber. But the car is made of a lot of steel pipes as a roll cage. So, unaweza guza kitu shokiwe alafu dedi. Just because the driver has called you, haimaanishi ukuje. Because the driver has undergone intensive training on his own safety. Haya. The reason is, one, you have an SOS button at your steering wheel. Ukifinya tu, nikakwambia rally control, I'm in trouble, please help me. Once you send that SOS, and so all the TIVs, the technical intervention team, in a circuit of around 30 kilometers, there are 10 of them. So in essence, they are placed 3 kilometers apart. So the moment this guy presses an SOS, the technical team will know, utaambiwa ni aje, and mbele 200 meters, because we also have GPSs, we're tracking ourselves and we're tracking the cars. And mbele 200 meters, kuna gari meroll and umsaidie. Why are we sending a TIV instead of a marshal? the TIV is properly equipped and trained to handle all these situations, fires and electrical risks, shocks and whatnot. The reason the marshal called it help was, one, an electrical risk. Two, normally when these guys roll, you'd actually do them more harm than good kuwasaidia cause unaweza pata maybe the spine imelaliwa vibaya, and in a case of the driver sending an SOS, huyo technical intervention atakuja yeye na medical team, yeah, and almost immediately a chopper will come out of rally control which is still there akuje, so that if the issue is so big itakuwa directed to a proper hospital in Nairobi or kwenda Maju. So assume if umekuja your car, the roll cage imekatika, and then as we try kuinua the gari because wase ni wengi hatuoni hata ndani, tukiinua gari hiyo cage ukidunge seme kifua ama hata mguu, then what? You do not have the right equipment to assist this guy. So according to FIA, 3 minutes is enough to, one, get to you and get proper medical or proper care, as opposed to mob mentality. Ule msa ameanguka twendeni tumuinue. It's not that simple. One, for you to help this guy, yourself has to be safe. Umse hana gloves, ana any fire suit, ana anything. Remember, these guys are running turbos that become so hot, inakuwa red hot. Uone na kuinua mse gari, feel like inatokana. It starts to burn. Have you done them good or bad? So msa alitoka hapo na frustrations because ukipata accident alafu someone is in a position to help, but FIA yenyewe ilisema msaidie mse. Unless if he's in a problem, he's been trained on the standard operating procedures of how to sort himself out. Kama hizi jisaidia, again I mentioned kuna lifeline. Rally control inaona heartbeat ya moment, inaona ni aje kai fiti, immediately a chopper is sent, a technical car is sent, na utasaidika. It's that simple. It's mostly his problem, but again FIA has gone back on his word kusema marshal angemsaidia, but the marshal was in no place to help this guy.
Yeah, as well as the last thing you mentioned about altering the car components, because we had a case whereby Hamza Anwar altered the seal that FIA put on his gearbox and differential. So serious, that's that. Umse he removed the seal, and just like that, Umse was disqualified because if you see on the standings, Hamza is nowhere to be seen because Umse he was just disqualified just because SS19 completed. So like that's the magnitude of the as well as we had Kaltundo and there was another guy who was fined. Though alikuwa minor kidogo, but it was only Hamza was disqualified.
Yeah, it's mostly a fair play. Unajua, for you to be competitive, it has to be fair. Kaltundo won 2002. He's part of the Toyota team. The guy has been good for the longest time. He knows the rules. The strange thing is when Toyota come to Kenya, wanapeleka all their turbos, all their gearboxes for scrutineering. Kila kitu itamakiwa na iwekwe seal. In you race and then your turbo is broken, utasema ndio turbo mbaya imeharibika na ndio yenye nataka kureplace. In case because there are people who do bigger bearings in there. So instead of your turbo pushing maybe 400 horsepower, now you're pushing 500. So unaona shaacha kwa competitive and it's no longer fair. So and that's why all the cars go to scrutineering. The moment unaribu one seal, immediately you're disqualified. It's fair. It's how motorsport works.
Yeah, and it's important to do that because of the money issue that Alex talked about. Because if I can bring 15 turbos and the other team can only bring 5, I definitely have an advantage over the others. Kama mmoja naweza enda, and plus it increases caution because if you know you have a cap, yani kuna mahali itafika and you're no longer allowed to change anything or you have penalties.
Yeah, as well as the last thing you mentioned about altering the car components, because we had a case whereby Hamza Anwar altered the seal that FIA put on his gearbox and his differential. So serious, that's that. Umse he removed the seal, and just like that, Umse was disqualified because if you see on the standings, Hamza is nowhere to be seen because Umse he was just disqualified just because SS19 completed. So like that's the magnitude of the as well as we had Kaltundo and there was another guy who was fined. Though alikuwa minor kidogo, but it was only Hamza was disqualified.
Yeah, it's mostly a fair play. Unajua, for you to be competitive, it has to be fair. Caltundo won 2002. He was part of the Toyota team. The guy has been good for the longest time. He knows the rules. The strange thing is when Toyota come to Kenya, wanapeleka all their turbos, all their gearboxes kwa scrutineering. Kila kitu itamakiwa na iwekwe seal. If you race and then your turbo is broken, utasema ndio turbo mbaya imeharibika na ndio yenye nataka kureplace. In case, because there are people who do bigger bearings in there, so instead of your turbo pushing maybe 400 horsepower, now you're pushing 500. So unaona shaacha kwa competitive and it's no longer fair. So and that's why all the cars go to scrutineering. The moment unaribu one seal, immediately you're disqualified. It's fair. It's how motorsport works.
Yeah, and it's important to do that because of the money issue that that Alex talked about. Because if I can bring 15 turbos and the other team can only bring 5, I definitely have an advantage over the others. Kama mmoja anaweza enda and plus it increases caution, because if you know you have a cap, yani kuna mahali itafika and you're no longer allowed to change anything or you have penalties, then itabidi umechunga hiyo turbo yako. Otherwise people would be doing miraculous things on those tracks. And let me just come back to what Kelvin was talking about. The FIA in a control adding noise. You're allowed to do what to your exhausts in specific special stages. So it has small, almost like micromanage. It's very, very important to keep the sport fair. Mostly, I don't know if it's really fair, but it's the FIA monitors literally every single thing that happens with those cars, with the people, with the drivers. It has to monitor to keep the sport fair. Well, before I give it back to the two of you, I have a couple of new guys on the speakers panel, and before I call them up, I just wanted to remind you guys where we are. Najua mnajua tuko kwa SpaceYaMagari, tunaongelelea the World Rally Championship, which started on Thursday, ran through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think most people caught the Sunday stages, like Oserian, Narasha, and Hell's Gate. But we have pretty exciting videos and photos from the rally as well. So you can check either our timeline or the timelines of literally anybody who is up here, or the couple of the photographers that were there, which most of them are referred from our SpaceYaMagari timeline. So yes, karibuni kwa wenye mnaingia sahi, and we can continue. Alasiri, how are you?
Yes, no, I'm good.
Karibu sana, umepotea. It's been a long time since we had you here.
Kutafuta biashara. I'm telling you, everything are dry.
I can imagine. Difficult times, but anyway, it doesn't stop us from continuing. So how did you go to the rally? Were you at any of the stages during the different days? Ama ulikuwa wapi?
Mimi nimeshinda tu mama ingine nikiangalia bahari. So it's quite informative what guys are saying over here, and I'm just here to learn by day level. If anything comes up, I'll contribute. But it's really informative stuff, man. I'm learning here.
Yeah, ka advice alitu challenge akasema many people don't know anything about motorsport, because we don't have, I think the WRC is the only competitive motorsport who are tuna host to Kenya, because we don't have capacity to host any of the others. And it's very exciting because it's the most inakuanga the toughest, so people should be interested. I don't know how, or maybe ni hiyo distraction, kama mtu kama King Hysteria kama angebebwa na Alex hata angeona gari hata moja, but it's okay. Alasiri, your hand is up. Umesahau nini?
Maybe if you guys could just because I heard that the Toyota Yaris won. So if you guys could just take time and just talk about that particular car, the Yaris. I'd like to know why. Do you think it's the driver or is it the car? So maybe if you could discuss that, please. Yeah.
Very, 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 very good question, but not just yet. We'll put a pin in that. Tutajibu hiyo swali. That one we'll have to definitely talk about, because a clean 1P, 2P, 3P, 4 sweep is crazy. And well, I don't want to get into that now, but just give us a minute to be able to answer that question, please, Wasili. Evans, how are you?
How are you, Mura? How are you doing?
Asa, niko salama kabisa, labda wewe?
Mimi niko salama. I think it was a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the WRC.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Kasarani, but I watched all the stages. I think Kasarani was really nice. The cars were really moving very quick. I think Rovanpera made a mistake in the first turn, but it wasn't that costly because I think he lost only 10 seconds. But I had a question because I watched on Saturday we had the Sleeping Warrior stage. I think it was really tough for drivers because Neville crashed to a tree. I think there was so much water, and I think his radiator also got some water, so he lost a lot of power. My question was, is there a way that tracks can be amended? Like, for instance, the weather is not conducive, because I think that leg cost Neville a podium. Even though Toyota were really strong this weekend, so I think maybe because the visibility was really poor, and I think only Toyota's really aced that section. But also my other highlight was how Tanaka drove using I think one hand and then lever had broken. So it was really interesting to see how he was coordinating like the throttle and the steering wheel. But I think that's where I think it cost him. He's strong on Friday, so Saturday that's where Mashida zilianza. But lastly is also to congratulate Maxime for the winning the WRC3. I think that was really impressive and very good for us as a country to put us on the map. So yeah, that was my highlight for the weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, Evans. That's an interesting question there. And I'll take you back to what I've just mentioned before. The FIA controls from A to Z of what happens in any motorsport, including WRC. And that includes the track. So they're the ones who say, yes, this track is good to go. It meets the specifications. So every team should be prepared for the track. If one team is dominating one track, that they have figured something out so that the others haven't. And they usually allow for parts of the tracks to have gravel. I think kama hii ya mwisho, hii ya Hell's Gate, kuna parts zilikuwa nayo, I'm not very sure, but they do allow for any tracks zenye si paved, they allow for some of them to have gravel roads, but hizo zingine mali tu hizo gari zingine zimepita zikatengeneza track, there's no loose debris or whatever, hivyo tu ndivyo kutaenda. And if one car is getting an advantage over the others and they are following all the FIA rules, they win fair and square. And maybe sorry?
My question is because if the principle was used, Osirian, was it the first stage in the morning? When
yes, on Sunday.
In the sun, yesterday, or in the dust, sorry, in the fresh weather. The sound, they did not start from beginning where the section should have started. So it should also be in the same principle used for Sleeping Warrior, because in the afternoon the weather was really bad and I think almost all Hyundai struggled and Ford really struggled as well. Only Toyota aced that section. So I think that was the key section to determine the win, the podium especially, because I think Rovanpera nobody would have beaten him this weekend. That is my
acha nikwambie kitu Evans. FIA ni watu wa maajabu sana. Ukiangalia vitu wanafanyanga kwa motorsport, hata utauliza maswali mingi. The way that they control what part of the track is open, what part of the track is closed, what track is going to be renewed for another what part of the track is going to be yani, they are as good as they are bad, but we get it because sometimes unajua with motorsport engineers wanaweza sema hapana, that track is not that, or this can work here and can't work with the other track depending on the conditions. So it could have worked for Sleeping Warrior, but whomever, like I said, bora tu kama vile pia Alex alisema, bora tu gari iko within the FIA specifications, fair and square. Hata team zingine wabaki huko nyuma. If you watch either Formula 1 or Formula 1, utaona kama mko huko nyuma, nyikaeni tu huko nyuma mpaka you figure out whatever is happening to you. It's just the same all the way around. They just try to make sure for most of the part that things are fair and square. Kevo, please 1 minute kabla useme kitu. I would like to hear from Mr. Swish. Welcome to the space. Nimekuona sahi. I had not seen you earlier. How are you?
Max, I think that yeah.
Oh, unanisikia? Okay, he's here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well Asna. Mambo vipi?
Poa sana. Karibu sana.
Asante. Majirani tulichungulia kwa dirishani tu.
Mlichungulia
Hatukuweza
tu?
kuja.
Uongo.
Tulichungulia kwenye dirisha ya LED. We couldn't come.
You're from Tanzania or Uganda?
From Tanzania.
Okay. Our neighbors to the west walikuwa wamekuja wamejipin kwa malori. So I don't know. You people pull up your socks. Tumewaletea motorsport mpaka kwa mlango na mtaki uja.
Yeah, nauli ni kubwa sana. Yeah, it was very interesting. I had to subscribe to WRC. Kwa nilikuwa nafuatilia kila mahali. It was very interesting to see the live action there. Kwa sababu mikilicho ni introduced kwenye motorsport love was rally. When I was very young, I grew up sehemu ambapo route ya rally ilikuwa inapita. So I remember the likes of kina Ian Duncan from there, some classic Range Rovers. Kipindi kile there were no proper rally cars in the late 90s, in the early 2000s. Kwa hiyo unapatana na watu wanacheza na Land Cruiser, wengine na Subaru Legacy. GC8 I think was the only proper car. So I really liked Subaru from the motorsport, and mostly the Subarus from Kenya. So rally is very, very important. Yeah. So my question is, wakati mnaongelea safety, ile ajali iliyopata the Ford Puma driver, Smith, I think Green Smith, then ukasema kwamba they couldn't touch the car, of course, because of the regulations. Sasa nakumbuka jana wakati naangalia, I think it was Hell's Gate, it was the Hyundai. I'm not so sure about the driver's name, but it was a Hyundai na wipers zilikuwa hazifanyi kazi. Yeah, sasa yule msee alikuwa anapida, akasimamisha, nafikiri akawaambia spectators, wipers are not what I can't see. And then wakafuta kioo. Sasa najiuliza pale hawaja break any rules, wakamfutia kioo kwa mikono.
Okay, Alex, tuambie, as part of the FIA, what do you think? Did anybody break the rules there? I don't think so.
I think
Okay.
the Yaris the guys came about. I think it was just like an helping hand, and then the driver himself was stopped and was like, "Yo, I can't see shit." So he could no longer race with the windshield being poor visibility. I think that's why the crowd came in and was like, "Yo, let's help out." But I don't think there's any rules that are broken there.
Yeah. I think within the rules, this FIA, we are going to mention them a lot. I think there's allowances for getting help from locals. Maybe when, I don't know, I'm not very, very sure about getting help from the people outside, but I think the not being allowed to touch the cars is only when the car is either is rolled, there's a lot of damage and you're not very sure what you could be touching. But kama unapanguza windscreen, I don't think it's much harm. Yes, Maxi?
Yeah, nakumbuka kwenye WRC Classic, I think in February, Ken Block was heavily penalized kwa sababu I think some people walimsaidia swing to change tire. I'm not so sure. Yeah, so I think it could be such a similar situation. Sasa, I don't know if the guy was fined or not, but I'm just trying to think on those terms.
Well, we can let me see if we can find those FIA rules somewhere tuone kama it is allowed or not. But I think for parts, I'm not very sure, but I think there's some allowance in there. But we'll see. We'll get that answer for you immediately. All right, she can drive. Welcome.
Hi,
How are you?
Esa.
Habari ya leo?
Nzuri sana, labda wewe?
Niko salama.
Okay.
I don't know. Kelvin called it a postmortem of the rally. It's a fun rally. Tunajaribu kuona what is, what's not, what do people not understand, what's happening. So how was it for you? Kama ulikuwa ama haukuwa?
Yeah, it was very good. We were there on Saturday. In fact, the best thing about... Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of feedback.
Sorry, I'm muting my mic.
Okay. Yeah, so the best experience was meeting the top 3 rally drivers. You know, there's the section where people walikuwa na park magari. But now, when you drive all the way until the end, where there was like a roadblock, most of the cars were starting from there. So it was quite interesting, and curiosity and confidence just made us say, sawa, let's just jump out of the cars and we see if we can actually, get as close to the rally cars. And of course, the cops were there, but they weren't restricting people. They were quite friendly. The most conversation we had was with the guys from America. I think Johnson and some other gentlemen, but they were really friendly. We took selfies, and they were telling us, they had such a crap night because of the food. Wengine walikuwa na food poisoning. So it was quite an experience for us. And now kukula vumbi, they say you're not really at a safari rally kama hujakula vumbi. So the crowd was very chilled, very controlled. Although, like now from the business aspect, a lot of people were saying that, business ilikuwa chini. Maybe that's also another aspect to talk about for those who were selling their goods there. But since we had attended last year's ilikuwa na fujo. This time it was more chilled. Could tell like guys were so friendly and easy. Yeah.
Okay. Hao wazungu waliwaambia nini? What did they tell you about the rally? What other than complaining about the food? What did they tell you about their experience with the rally?
Yes, they did. Actually, the Americans were so friendly. They were just like, your country is really nice, and we love the fact that it's so fast-paced because of all the vumbi. Our jazoea vumbi. So of course they were just so excited for the adventure. And they wanted to actually, stay longer. Some were saying, we can't stay that long. Yeah, actually, it was Johnson who was saying that he was sick, really sick, but he performed very well. But overall, their feedback was so good. Sorry, Kelvin.
No, I think the Johnson you're trying to refer, I think, was it the Takamoto's co-driver? Because it was his first podium finish ever. The co-driver to Takamoto Katsuta.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Even driving the Citroen, actually.
Then there must be 2 Johnsons.
Yeah, he's called Kyoko something. I don't know, Kiurani. Kiurani? I don't know if you saw the guys from Citroen. The Citroens actually really tried this time with their livery. Couldn't even tell it was a Citroen.
I agree.
And of course, yeah, it was really, really good. I was utterly surprised. We were very surprised.
Right. That's very true. I was telling my friend when the cars are passing and everybody's asking, because wanasikia one of us is knows what car is passing and the other, and they're asking, "Hii ni gani?" I'm like, huh? What car is that? And then you come to realize later it's a Citroen. Anyway, they did quite well. They need to do a little bit more with performance, obviously, but regardless, they did quite well. Thank you very much. And I think the issue for sickness was a lot. Atarovan was sick.
Yeah,
And,
true.
during the last stage, zote tatu za Sunday, he wasn't feeling quite well, but look where he is now. Anyway, let's get back to Bob. Bob, your hand was up. What's good? I'm on track to
Not really. Mi yangu hata ni kusikia, nimesikia She Can Drive ameongea story ya biashara, and I remembered that I've heard stories that it was really bad there. Kila mtu alikuwa ameenda kazi. I don't know if that was true, if it's really something that people experienced in you when mlienda. Anyway, that's not really my point of interest. Me, I'm so excited to wait for that point of hii gari inaitangwa Vitz. Yaris. What really happened to it when it comes to the rally aspect?
Okay, well, relax. Nimewambia nini? Everybody wants to hear about that Yaris. And I think we had talked about it when they did their virtual launching of that car. And people said, oh, CG, it looks what? It wants 3-cylinder, haiwezi fanya kitu, nini, blah, blah, blah. And then look at the 4, P1, P2, I repeat again, P1, P2, P3, P4 soup. But we'll come to that just at one minute as I welcome somebody else to give us a couple of words here. Norman. Hello.
Karibia microphone wewe.
Yes, I'm working.
Karibu sana.
Oh, thank you. About my experience with the rally, yeah, nilitoka hapa. I watched it on hapa Kasarani, and Saturday someone akanihire to carry some goodies, biashara of course, na mnaguzia kwa party ya biashara. So it was really bad. Someone had paid me kumbebea maji, kauza maji mingi sana actually. It was around 2,000 bottles, 1 liter, half liters. Then tulikuwa bado tumepack radish, that is moratina. And we really tuliuza kidogo, not as expected. Mimi nikaboeka, came back Sunday asubuhi because tulikuwa na event ya the whole of guys as you saw me tweet a thread the yesterday. So but ya biashara for me was not that good. That was my experience, but Friday was good at Kasarani.
I think as Esme tries to set out, it was basically a bad day in office for vendors. From what I gathered, you could tell that almost each and every person was there either came with their own booze or they got one from a local around the area, because very few people bought alcohol from the venue, and that really made people count losses, because nasikia Norman amesema lori nzima maji moratina ilirudi tu hivyo, and that was really bad for business. About Kasarani, well, I think you mentioned about the vehicles. Niyo swali mwanakaa unaievate sana, but about the cars, Max had asked if they perform the same. All cars in WRC1 are of the same performance, WRC2 similar performance, and 3 as well, like in a magazine with the Fiesta. So it all boils down to the skill of the driver. Like I witnessed Kasarani, and there was a corner that some drivers really had to ace it real nice so that they could finish on top of the other, because you could realize that Sebastian Loeb and Sebastian Ogier, that was like the rivalry of the history. Those guys went side by side, and Ogier really won with very few seconds, and it all boils down to the driver, because all cars have the same capabilities. Hakuna ati gari ni powerful or whatever, and that's why the corners are there in rally, because if everyone has to be a rally driver, wangepatiwa the straights like say Masinga, the way the GTR and the whatnot did. If it was that way, all the drivers wangepatiwa straights. But it boils down to how skilled is the driver. Rwampera really proved to be so skillful. Like this guy is just 21 and he's racing with the kina Loeb. Loeb is 47. I think he turned 47 earlier this year as he won the rally. The oldest guy ever to win a rally at 47. So you can imagine a 47-year-old and a 21-year-old. Mtu mwenye miaka yako ina almost tripling ndio ilifikia yeye mse mwingine, but this guy is so skillful. I think it's all the Yaris really had a good run, and I think they had walikuwa na marking scheme last year because they were there last year, and they really did well. And on my end, well, it was a win for the Yaris. That was behind Loeb. I was really rooting for him. It was bad that at some point we thought he retired, but then again, Loeb, I think he had 9 lives or some shit. So he came back on and pressed on, and they really put up a fight. So Esna,
Supporting Loeb, why? What's fascinating About Loeb?
That guy is fast, and then that guy came out of retirement when he had the rally coming to Kenya. Like the last time was here, it's 20 years ago. Hata wewe Esna, ukiambiwa watu wanaenda mahali attend 20 years ago, utataka kwenda?
Nitataka, lakini sio kwenda kukua embarrassed by 21-year-olds. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, nimeacha kuhepa hiyo swali. Let's get back to now understanding who was at the rally, what car did they have, and what type of performance did they have. I might disagree with Kelvin kidogo when he says it boils down to the driver. I don't think it does. Everything matters. The skill of the driver matters, but I think one of the things that matters the most, and especially with the Safari Rally, hata wachana na hizo zingine, the Safari Rally is reliability. Because if your car is not as reliable, or if your car is not reliable at all, then hata ukue skilled aje, hakuna mali utaenda. If you're skilled, if you're a magician, fine, you can make it reliable in the middle there, maybe when you move from one stage to the other. But if you're not, which most of them are not, then hata uwe nani, it won't outafika uko mbele, regardless of whether you have either, say, the car that seems to be more powerful, which probably not, and regardless of whatever else. If your car is not reliable, then hapo mtakuwa na shida sana when it comes to winning this rallies. And when you put all of those things together, then you can see why that the GR is performed very well. Kama kawaida, we all know, hata ungeangalia the safety cars, the cars that were being used to transport delegates, 3/4, if not hata maybe 2 or 3 cars from Land Rover, most of them were Toyotas, because they know these ones will behave. These ones will be very reliable through the 3-4 days of the rally. And I think that is where Toyota wins again. Na sisi wote tunajua that Toyota is very reliable. The problems of sijui, I don't know, maybe just one, I think it was Sebastian who experienced some loss. I am not very sure, but for the most part, the GR is very reliable. Ndio maana hata wangeza, no wonder they can take the Safari Rally this nicely. Hata you don't even hear any trouble down there. And the GR was launched I think in 2020, sometime in 2020, and it's a fantastic looking car. It's very light. It had the new engine, the newly developed, I think it's a 1.6 inline 3, and I don't know what chassis is there, but I know it's a new engine. I know it's a 6-speed manual transmission, and 4-wheel drive, obviously, and it's very light, nice and light. Kanapenya tu, kanapanda kamlima. There was like a small part along the Soisambu Soisambu track where there was a small but very difficult hill. When we were watching that place with a friend of mine, we could see the difference between the Mitsubishi and the GR, because this car was literally just scaling up. It was a small section, but very important, because that is where most of the drivers were losing time, getting off track and all. Lakini Kayaris kakikuja tu hapo, it's like a walk in the park. When the other cars come there, it's a struggle. Well, obviously the other smaller cars zilikuwa zinapita vizuri, but not as good as the Yaris. So Alasiri, I hope I've really tried to put everything into one small comment, and so that to allow everyone else to give us their 2 cents. I think that is why the Toyota was able to dominate this Safari Rally. I don't know about, say, Alex, tell us why. What do you think about the GR? And why was it able to do that? Or before we get to Alex, let me hear from King Hysteria. Niliona hata wewe ulikuwa unashangaa.
To add on top of what Esma just said, we all know the production GR was very highly recommended by motoring journalists, that it was the car of the year, being a 3-cylinder inline 1.6 liter turbo. It's a good car, and Toyota and reliability, mweke handshake hapo katikati, they are so reliable. On the rally spec GR Yaris, we remember the rally spec version of the Yaris is full of carbon fiber and whatnot, and then the interior has been stripped down. So kako light, kako so powerful. Now it goes as it goes. Also, comparing to other sports like Formula 1, I don't know if the rally has a budget cap where teams are supposed to spend up to a certain amount of money, but Toyota, the big daddies of WRC right now, even in Le Mans, they are the big daddies. Budget yao is not, you can't compare their budget to other teams. So they have the best engineers, the best technical advisors, they have the best drivers, and I saw it was a result that was so very much expected. The GR Yaris was a very powerful car. Stage tulikuwa, there was not so much action. It was more of a straight line, so they were going flat out, pedal to the metal. But yeah, they need their dominance. They dominated the WRC Kenya.
Right. And I don't know about you guys, wherever you are watching from, but we could, from where we were, from the, I think, four stages that we went to, is it for whichever, the stages that we went to, comparing the GR with the other cars, especially with maintaining kubaki kwa track. They had just pure dominance. You could see other skilled drivers, Akina Neville, they were trying to keep the car on the track in a kata. Yani it just keeps swinging and putting them, and that means they're losing time. They're losing significant time. Yenye they're supposed to be losing, say, at corners where you're slowing down or something. So that Yaris was just made for that track, tuseme tu hivyo, because the way that it was moving down through those corners, through the straights, kwanza on the straights, that thing was absolutely beautiful. Inatoka pale, the next thing you know, it's at the corner, disappearing from wherever you are. So that's definitely the reason why the GR was able to dominate those tracks very, very easily. And if you want, you can buy one, but not the rally spec. Well, you can take it and make it. I don't know if you can buy it with the cable or whatever you can.
Yeah, sure. You can make your own rally spec car. As compared to road cars, rally cars need to have specific type of rims, suspension, weight, the turbo, and whatnot. You can make yours. There are good guys at Anwar Motorsport. I think Anwar was also racing or something. Yeah, they have a rally spec Evo. No, not Evo, sorry. Rally spec Yaris. Actually, they were the first guys to import the GR Yaris to Kenya. They have a rally spec version of it. It was in Kasarani. I didn't see it in Soisambu and the other stages. But yes, you can. Also, we have to remember that rallying is expensive. After all that, you need a complete engine overhaul. You need to change certain components. And I was having a chat with one of the guys from Anwar Motorsports, and they were like, rallying is so expensive that if they have like a school, not a school, but school in quotes for rally. And they were telling me if you want to compete for rally, or if you have to go to their school, you'd spend upwards of 100K for 2 days just for the cars if they were to hire out the Yaris for rallying, not competitive rallying, ile tu ya enjoyment venye Alex alikuwa anatufanyisha huko. But hey, this guy Alex was, when we were headed to that stage, he was driving like a rally driver. Tulikutana na Shani. I don't know if Shani is in the group. Yeah, we met him very early in the morning at around 4 a.m. Na Alex alikuwa full send kwa hiyo barabara ya kwenda Soisambu. Anyway, that was that. So yeah, you can have your own version of the car, but you
Understand Prado. How do you send a Prado?
Alex alikuwa na drift Prado tukienda kwa stage. You know, with Alex we had to use the rally route, like where the cars were going. So we raucad there. We like at 3:30. Yeah, I woke up at 3:30 a.m. We took up some simple breakfast, and then we were going there. He was driving like a rally driver. Corners alikuwa na drift. You imagine a Prado drifting, a Prado, full size Prado with tools at the back. It was drifting proper.
Nilikuwa na helmet.
Dangerous. It must be reported to the FIA.
But no, it was a closed course. So yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you can have your rally spec, everything. At a N16, you can strip down the interior. If you have to make times, your car must be as lightweight as possible. And also remember, carbon fiber is a very light component. Sio kama hizi gari zetu zingine nilisikia watu wakiziita mabati. So yeah, I see Maxi has a question. I don't know if you can take the lead now.
Yes, I can see his hand, but we must report you guys to the FIA first. Mlete pesa kwanza tupelekee kina Haas. It's race week. Anyway, Maxi, you have a question or a comment? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question to King Asteria. Sabu, somebody asked if you can buy the Yaris. I think
Maxi is still with us.
I think it's disconnected. Maybe we give him a couple of minutes to check his connection. Anyway.
And then can you just mention something else now?
Yes, please.
I don't know how much Toyota sells the Yaris right now, but I know the waiting list is so long. It was a proper car that spiked the demand. Kila mtu anitaka kila mahali, and I don't know how much it goes for right now. Kelvin, mliko huko Toyota. Able tell us how much, what was the Sorry?
I think I'm not wrong.
Okay, yeah, thereabout. Kelvin, mliambiwa ni how much?
Kelvin has gone to the lights. Anyway, I think it's about 4 million. I'm not very sure. Yes, she can drive. Please give us your comment.
Hi, sorry about that. It was just a very passive comment, but we don't know if everyone stayed behind to watch some of the KNRC cars.
We actually watched the whole stage. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just mostly that, because on the spectator stage of where we were, most people just walked off walienda shughuli zao, but they didn't realize that there was also some action with some of our local drivers, so maybe they didn't know.
The problem is is exactly what Ka advice had mentioned earlier. People don't know. The ones that are fans or they're enthusiasts, wakona mpaka ma list, mpaka ka kitabu to know when Rally 1 cars go, when Rally 2 cars go, and when Rally 3 cars go. And unfortunately, because most of our drivers wako Rally 3, na unajua Rally 3 ndo wanakuja wa mwisho, so they've already seen enough action, so they want to go back to their sherehe or whatever. That was the main problem. But if you are careful to support the Kenyan teams, then you'd be well, you'd stay until you could see mpaka ule wa mwisho amepita, because you would want to cheer for whomever you've come to cheer on, and especially rally kama sahi, rally 3 kwenye kuna a lady, a very important person in our lives as Kenyan women, who has taken the win for rally 3 this year, for the Safari rally, sorry. So I think that was the main problem, because wase walikuwa nasema shaona, even on the last stage, kama kawaida, priority is given to rally 1. Wale wa kwanza wakishafika podium, nobody gives a hoot about all the others. All eyes are on the podium, wako kuona who's on the podium. Go ahead.
Before my question, also something facts. Okay, I just want to state facts. It won't sit well with everyone, but yeah, let me just. The difference was so huge between rally 1, rally 2, and rally 3. Watu wanajua bikes. Let's use bikes as an example. Watu wanajua hizo Yamaha H2R and whatnot, wanajua difference ya hizo na Bajaj. Like it was a huge difference, a huge and notable difference. Rally 1 cars zilikuwa full send, zinaenda, and then when rally 2 cars came, they were notably slow, very slow. And then rally 3 sasa hata tusiseme, okay, in our standards they are so fast, they are rally spec na nini, and then there's that and all that, but they were so slow. So most of the people found it boring to watch slow cars, you know. It's boring actually. It's boring to watch slow cars. No wonder after hizo rally 1 and rally 2 people are leaving, watu walikuwa naenda sherehe, plus kitu ilipeleka watu huko mostly ni sherehe juu it was bad.
Kuna mtu alienda huko na hata kuona Safari rally, alikuwa tunapiga sherehe. Anyway, I think we can have Maxi. Esna.
Yes, Maxi, please go ahead. Sorry, we had lost you earlier.
Yeah, the network can be pretty bad. Kwa nilikuwa nasema kuna ile homologation rule ambayo manufacturer yote kabla hajatengeneza hiyo rally car lazima atengeneze car models ambazo zinafanana na hiyo. Kwa hiyo ukiangalia Yaris ile ya kawaida ina 4 doors, lakini Yaris ambayo ni rally spec inakuwa ina 2 doors. Kwa hiyo I'm not so sure if that rule still applies kwenye rally za siku hizi, lakini zamani you had to make an example of 500 or 200 cars ili wale fans wanunue ndo.
Yes, it still does. King Hysteria, Mujibu.
Yeah, the homologation rule still applies. If you want to come to rally, let's say inaunda gari yangu inaitwa King Racing or something, I have to make like some other, let's say 250 units or so of the same car, and I have to show the fire officials what wana regulate kila kitu, that these are rally ready cars, spec'd up for rally safety, nini, roll cage, vitu kama hizo. Yeah, homologation still applies.
I think regarding what King Sarah mentioned earlier, how the rally 3 category vehicles were kind of slow. Well, I think Jeremy tried to send his vehicle at some point, but he experienced some mechanical hitches that he pulled over at some point, and then he was like a chill case. Then he later on continued the rally, as well as Magazine home. I think Magazine, I don't think she experienced any mechanical issues, but I think her trick was just be consistent, because if you can look at the standings, Maxine was started leading I think after Saturday. Yeah, I think after Saturday. Yeah. That's when Maxine started leading, and she kept increasing the difference from the first position to the second position, because hakuwa na send ile gari. She was just like, yo, let's do this, let's go. As much as she's going fast to her own looking, kwetu tulikuwa tuna slow, because come on, let's expect Rovanpera ama Sebastianogi ama Lob apite hapo hivi na full send ya 140 150. Ungo expect Magzina kuja hapo na Fiesta bana. Tupatie ndo the whole clock ya nini ya Fiesta. So let's give them benefit of doubt, but Magzina was actually consistent. That's what I loved about her, and she really did us proud. And just to put across something else is that we had Nikhil Sachania, the paraplegic rally driver. He finished 18th out of he finished 18 out of the 34 drivers who started the WFC. So that was a really improved performance from number 21 last year. So congratulations as well goes to Nikhil Sachania and Magzina Holland, because Nikhil has been consistent. His fellow teammate Evans had to retire due to a mechanical problem. So I think we should point out about Nikhil as well. Carlos?
That's right. That's true. And if you refer to our timeline, we have a very very nice thread. No, it's not ours. It's Kevin's timeline. He has done a very nice thread of the Kenyan drivers that were early. And I don't know what's interesting about this Skoda. This Skoda imekuwa very attractive to the usual suspects we see in the rally. I don't know why. Maybe akwapi na sorry?
TDI. I think TDI inafaa kuja rally.
Atuambie kwa nini it's very I don't know what's special about it. I'm not very sure. I don't know. If anybody does, please educate us to do why is it so attractive.
Okay.
Yes, please.
My 2 cents on the Skoda. After this rally in 2022, tulikuwa tunatumia hybrid cars. They had internal combustion engines and they had the power battery motors, electric motors, sorry. So after Hyundai was the one who introduced the let me call it benchmark for rallying with their hybrid cars, but Toyota walikuwa na hiyo system in-house, walikuwa wamenyamazia tu. So after every team had launched their version of the hybrid system, Skoda wakaenda wakachukua notes like everyone does. For example, when phones are launched, iPhone watatoa zao and then Androids come and sit down and do what iPhone is not doing. Now Skoda wamekuja wamefanya kitu au wengine hawajafanya. That's why it's such a notable improvement.
All right. Okay. Because it's a very interesting entry point for them, and to see that performance as well. But we'll see how they do moving forward. All right, we have a couple new voices here, and I'm gonna start with Mr. Carlos. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm thank you. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. First time on this forum. Good stuff from you people. Just an observation. I was in the crew in the 2016 Africa Rally Championship winning team. What I can say about WRC is we need to grow our rally so that people can understand what WRC is all about. Because without our KNRC doing well, eventually WRC won't make sense. Like the last rally was in Eldoret, 8 entries. So with things like this, keep it up and good stuff, and we'll keep following you guys.
All right. Thank you very much. That's again agreeing with what Car Advice had talked about before, because like King Hysteria had mentioned, there is competitive racing like WRC or any other racing or the classic rally. And there's this other one for just our own leaderboards zenye tutajitengenezea huko chini, which we are trying to make people understand what it means. It's not just driving down to wherever the stages are and parking your car and drinking. It's all about what the rallying really means, getting more and more people interested so that we have at least more than 8 entries in the local Kenyan Rally Championship. So yeah, thank you very much, Carlos. Watch this space. We have very, very exciting things that we do over here, trying to educate the masses. All right. 9.
Can I add something
Yes,
okay. Motorsports are very expensive. That's one thing for sure. Sisi kama host, at least we should have a very competitive stage of our own locally. But economy, let me say, okay, I'm not blaming it on the economy, but let's just say the economy and education as a whole. Not so many of us, if we're, for example, us at Kenya Tarmac Championships, sio ya rally sasa, hizo ni hizi masubaru zingine hizi zenye tunabustingi. The major challenge is finances. Host event, utaita watu, they'll come on their own bill, watakuja kurace magari zao, race fuel ni yao na nini, but utapata ni a select number of people or a select group of people ndio wanatana. Why is it so? It's because sio kila mtu, okay, Kenya as a country, sio watu wengi wanakuanga fans wa motorsports because it's not a thing that people grow up with. Ni kitu watu wame grow up to a certain age and then they start realizing, oh, there's something called Tarmac Championships, there's something called rally. Ministry of Sports should at least do something to educate people on rallying and whatnot, sisi kama SpaceYaMagari, everyone here, tutajaribu kupromote events what have yous as much. And the bottom line is this thing is expensive, like very very expensive. Utaenda pale na fuel yako, utaenda hapo na garage yako, utaenda na mechanics, you'll go with your parts, you'll go with everything of your own. Na hii economy ni mbaya kabisa. Like stage tulikuwa, we had guys from King's Collection, our indie King's Collection, and multiple holiers and people from Band Bros. Family mzima, even kids that couldn't walk, waliletwa kuona rally. And they are Kenyans but Indian of Indian origin. Unapata families wameanza kuintroduce their kids to rally and so on. So watu wana grow wakijua hizi vitu, and thanks to me I grew up in a generation yenye at least tulikuwa tumepoa hiyo education fulani up to some point. So as time goes by, we may expect more improvements, we may expect better cars for our stages, and hopefully tutapata Kenyan drivers racing in Rally 1 in the near future.
Thank you for that, Kevin.
No, carry on. Just wanted to.
Sorry, Malaysia.
I just wanted to put a call out there. I still joined with Alvin Kibet. Alvin Kibet was one of the photographers of the WRC. He really took amazing shots. And Alvin, if you can hear me, kindly come up to the speakers panel. Rather pick up the mic. And the experience how good because nyinyi ndo mlikuwa pale top of a track mzee. So basi akipita hapo na vumbi anakuachia yote, so we really like you to tell us the experience because tulena kina Mila na Benfica nilikuwa amejaa vumbi, nilikuwa naitwa Cardinal akiwa na Alex, but yeah. So Alvin, if you can join us and tell us the experience.
All right, Alvin, wherever you are, please respond to that call. Tell us what it felt like being over on the other side of the green thingy that was closing us from getting close to the track. Regardless, quick rundown. Started at 7:30. We've been talking about the just finished World Rally Championship where Toyota Gazoo Racing swept the first four positions. And we know why. We know the Safari Rally is not forgiving to any car, and you just have to be reliable. Yani akura choice, you have to be reliable. You can be as good as you want. Kelvin, I again disagree with you. You can be as good as you want, but if your car is not reliable and fast, then please pack your bags, go home.
I think I think that the mechanical team plays a key role, because if you guys were keen enough, we had I think it was Craig Green who lost a rear fender, but that fender was fixed within hours. But actually kuja pala keka carbon fiber and the car was back as new. So imagine if it was one of our own cars, mabati raruke noko juu. Wanza kutafuta mtu kuchomelea mabati wapi nini MS plate. So I think it comes down as well to the mechanical team, the technical team you have. If you have a capable team, trust me, you'll do wonders. Just the way the Ford did with Sebastian Loeb. That guy was to retire, but then again, look at him. Alirudi tena kwa track and he finished the whole course.
Agreed.
What Kelvin has said, it's true. It's a team. That's why it's called Toyota Gazoo World Racing Team, M Sport World Racing Team. It's a team. It's from the team principal, mechanics, everyone who is ensuring the cars are in it. On our Saturday, was it on Saturday? Yeah, Saturday stage, our Kenyan teams, kuna Masubaru na Evo zili roll huko hivyo, and then I don't know if they continued on Sunday. I really doubt if they did. Juu zetu hazikuwa carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is expensive, that's one. It's easily replaceable, and it's tough. It's long lasting in as much as zilikuwa zinararuka huko. So yeah, carbon fiber ni rahisi kufix. Hata haichukui hours. Kama hiyo side panel ilikuwa replaced within minutes, and on the next stage the car was back on track. Lakini sisi wenye tulikuwa na mabati za Evo na maza STI noma sana.
Actually about that, yes, STI, but I was at Kasarani and Andy, the STI that was driven by, I don't recall the guy, the STI from Betika. Man, that car was slow. Trust me, a Honda Fit driver was faster. Sijui why.
Yeah.
Hapana, Kevin.
Mute your mic, please. Mute your mic, please. Okay. Shush. I was giving people the rundown. Nyi mmekuja kuleta stories za Honda Fit tena. Honda Fit is not in the rally, so we leave it in the traffic jam. Anyway, so we have been talking about the World Rally Championship. We had Rovan Pera win the Safari Rally edition, and that I think puts him, I think it's 50 points. Is it 50 or a couple points mbele kwa the overall championship, which is cool because he has been quite consistent within the past rallies ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea. And we had a couple of Kenyan racers there as well who did quite well. And like I said, Kelvin, please, you've shared it. Perfect. That thread up there, you can see it when you scroll down all the way up to the all the way up. You can see that thread and look at how the Kenyan drivers performed, as well as what they were driving. And our most notable very good performance was in the Rally 3 with Maxine in the Ford Fiesta, giving us a very nice win, and we're very happy about that. And we've also talked about what motorsport really is within the WRC, and we know who sits on the big chair, who gives and removes, who says this goes, this doesn't. And if you just go to their website, you can get to understand all of these rules. Ndio ujue kwa nini huyu anaweza fanya hivi na huyu anaweza fanya hivi, or why the rally one is covered quite intensely and the other two are not necessarily not covered, but not as intensely as rally one. And we've heard from the horse's mouth, the people within the technical what did you call it? The technical whatever
technical intervention.
Yes. What they needed to do, being there to tow, provide tools or whatever to the cars that are stalled or zimefanyika kitu kondani, and it's just a fantastic, very eventful rally. Everybody knows Safari Rally is no joke. Iko kwa park, and the animals don't give a hoot who you are. If you have a Toyota or a Skoda or a whatever, itapita mali inataka kupita. So you have the decision to make. It's a very difficult track. There was a lot of dust. There was a lot of dust getting in engines. There's a tweet that was on my timeline about what they do to prevent dust from getting into the radiators, into the coolers, the coolers for the nitrogen. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Correct. Those coolers, there are so many things that they need to do. You can imagine the dust yenye unaingia ndani kama kidimbwi. You can imagine how much damage it can cause to your car.
We have Alvin with us. Alvin is here.
Okay, perfect. I'll invite him up in a few. So yeah, it's a lot of so many things, and let me tell you the truth. That's my truth. I think you would enjoy the rally a lot more when you know what's happening, when you know that this car is being driven by Nani. So we're gonna see how he or she negotiates corners, how they do on straights. You get quite the experience kuliko mse ameenda akaenda akatake video moja ikipita akarudi kufanya their own things. But again, it's a problem with us. We have done a lot of marketing of the side shows more than the real deal, which is the rally itself. Regardless, it was a fantastic experience from the most people that we have listened to, and we would like to give one person who was on another part of the team that was over there to give us their perspective from behind the lenses. Mr. Alvin, welcome. Alvin, please, if you can hear me.
Hello, I can hear you very well.
Okay, welcome. Hello.
Mzuri sana, labda yenu.
Are you back to the city?
Ala, meleta chief photographer.
Yeah.
I'm back in the city. Bado uchovu ijaisha though. I left Naivasha at 5 in the morning today. Leo ni Monday, watu wanafaa kuwa kazi. Yeah, so we're back. We're just trying to recover, trying to edit a few images as of now. Zingine hapa. WRC was a good experience. Nimeona mnaongea maneno ya rally leo, ndo nikasema acha nichungulie nini watu semanga huko.
wanasema vile Honda Fit ni fast kuliko Skoda. Ni Skoda ama ilikuwa STI?
Kuliko STI.
Niseme STI ya Betika. Ama ni STI gani wewe unaongelea?
Ndio vibaya.
Mani ndio walienda kutafuta Naivasha.
Hiyo
amekuwa nayo kasi ni mafuta chafu sio umemwaga
STI ya Betika.
Wewe Alex. Sasa chini ya gari.
Yeye alikuwa na buda yake.
Alex meet Mike.
Let me see if I can meet you.
Alvin, continue.
So maneno inapoteanga. So yeah, rally was good. We enjoyed the experience. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Please be coming for other events. Msikujange tu WRC peke yake. We have so many events in the calendar. Watu wamesema the local cars are boring, but it's a hassle. Mtu amesema they are slower than a Honda Fit, but yeah, it's true. Some are slower than them, but they come from far at some point. So that's where the problem comes in now. Kuna mtu anaona picha WRC anasema like, I want such a photo. But at the end of the day, unakuja unaangalia the way he was driving and how the cars were driving. There's no way you can actually deliver such a photo to them. So, hapo sana, if you're keen enough on most of those slower cars, ni panned photos. You're trying to give them motion in the images. They're actually not as fast as they're looking. So, you fake it till you make it kwa picha pia nazo. Yeah, any questions? Maneno inapotea. I can't really
That's
ask stuff.
Okay, that's a very interesting perspective because I wouldn't imagine that the speed of that. Well, it should, because most images ambazo mmepata za kina Yaris, akina Hyundai, akina Ford are fantastic. There's a lot of dust in the air, while the others atumezita nini?
Locals.
The local.
What
national. It's a national championship.
Well, there's something that you have called those images that you take of them.
Oh, the panned images. Unaona iko na hiyo motion in them. Yenye like you'll see, how can I put it? You'll see the wheels moving, and then the rest like unapata the vegetation and everything is blurry.
Oh, okay. So did it mean, well, I don't think it means that you don't photograph the Kenyan ones anyway, but my question specifically comes back to what we had started talking about, which is safety. What's to say that you guys are safe from the positions where you stand to take photos of these vehicles? Ama it's just a gamble. Mnaambiwa nipigeni picha lakini mjue rallying is dangerous. The way they put that thing there. For motorsport can be dangerous.
For me, when it comes to safety, that is my first priority. In 2016, Puri track, I was there when a photographer was hit na akakufa mbele yetu. So since that day, unajuaga like motorsport is dangerous for it. So at any given time, una making sure you. So in terms of cars, we know cars that are very safe in terms of the drivers. Like these drivers are really clean in their lines and they don't do mistakes. And then kuna some drivers like huyu anaweza pita na nini. So you always categorize those drivers depending on how you know them. And then always kuna spots unajuanga, if I stand here, the driver is seeing me, so he can't hit me, and as I correct if he does anything. Ama in case he loses control of the car, haezi kuja towards that side. So mostly unaambiwanga outside the corner, very dangerous, but on the inside is a bit safer. So, and then also sometimes unakwanga umesimama a bit further away, either behind a tree. If you're very close, unakuwa behind a tree or something, so that in case of an accident, it's going to hit the tree first. It has happened to me at times. Gari imegonga miti. Una imagine if that was you, that you'd be gone. And then the other aspect now would be zoom lenses. So with zoom lenses, you zoom very close to the cars. You're actually very far, but you make it look like you're very close to the car. So in terms of safety, that's how we consider, how we plan ourselves.
Right, that's interesting. I mean, if I was the one who saw somebody get hit and just die, I would probably become a chef or something. Niwachane na hiyo maneno kabisa. I'll have the cameras for this. I'll tell people I used to be a photographer or a videographer. But it's very interesting. That was my only question. But thank you very much, Alvin. I don't know if anybody else has a question. If you do, please ask
Yes, I
on
do.
the hashtag. 1 minute. Please ask on the hashtag SpaceYaMagari or request for the mic, and you will get you get to ask the question. Just before King Hysteria speaks, Alex, please check the requests for the mic and approve the ones that are there. We have a couple people who would like to speak. So, King Hysteria.
Yeah, I had a question to the photographers, like Alvin now. Hizo picha mnapiga, do you like sell them to WRC, especially of the drivers? Do you like sell them their photos, or how do you do? Ama unapiga, unapost, akichagua kutumia on his timeline, he can freely use them, or how does it go?
Yeah, so the last part in Mongolia, like mostly that's how it is. Like you'll have a nice photo, you'll post it, and then they'll be like, I would like to get that image with the process. Then they buy it. But with time, sasa kama from last year, that is what we experienced. This year, some of us get the experience to work with these teams. Kama mimi nilikuwa na work na the Hyundai team of photographers. So now you're working with them. So you're just moving around with photographers as well. So you're just putting your photos with the pool. They'll just use what they want from the pool, and then they just pay you like for the entire event. And then now, depending on what contract you have with them, wengine utakuwa na close contract that you can't take other photos of other cars. But sometimes me car contract yangu ilikuwa a bit open, so I was allowed to do whatever I want as long as they just submit to the pool. Niko sawa. Then you'll have another group of photographers utapata hao wanawakia the local pool. The local pool sasa ni the locally accredited photographers. I think inakuanga around as a group of 6 guys. So the 6 guys wana put into the pool like the editorial magazines za Kenya, Nation, all those newspaper wanapata from that pool. And then the others is just freelance, just take your photos. Others just do it for fun, for the fun of the images. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All
right. If you have any more questions for the regarding photography in WRC, please ask. Usikae nayo. Upewe jibu from the people who do exactly that. So we have a couple of minutes left on the clock, and I'll allow the people that have just joined us, to give us their 2 cents, what they know and have experienced with WRC specifically, or if you've gone to any other rally. Sorry to the rich kids. But if you have experience with the Safari Rally, let's hear it. Let's see what's your opinion. And if we can, we'll get it to the FIA through Alex, and wakabadilisha vitu huko juu. So Saruni, please go ahead. How are you? You sound very faint. Still very faint. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, he's faint. Saruni, kindly get closer to the mic.
Okay, as Saruni gets that in order, Mr. Skodaga. Skoda zenu zilikuwa WRC lakini wamesema ni slower than Honda Fit. Utajitetea ukiwa upande gani?
Hapana. Madereva ndio hawakuwa wametoka Finland. Kama Kale Rovanpera angekuwa na Skoda bado angewin. That guy amekuwa na Skoda and he has done his part. So I'm delighted kuona Wakenya pia walikuwa wamejikakamua. I'm happy about having Maxine, a female, winning after a long time and participating in the Safari Rally. And the spirits here are so high because of the Finnish son. It's not his first time to win, so he's been doing great. And They expected him to do great. Of course, he himself also said that it was quite a challenge. But yeah, I don't think I have much to say. And I think there's another rally coming up here. It's called Uvascular Rally. It's coming up next month. And I guess he also be participating there. If I get a chance, I'll go and watch and probably draw pictures to you guys. But let's see how it goes. Otherwise, sorry for the space. I couldn't join earlier, although kulikuwa na shida za mitambo. After that, nikawa busy kidogo, but great to see you guys, great to hear you guys, and we'll be in touch. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry about hapo mwanzo kulikuwa na kashida kidogo, but it's fantastic. We'll keep us posted on that other rally, and we'll be here to receive the information, the pictures, everything. Saruni, you're back. Oh my, still very faint. Okay. Just a minute, tuone kama we can. Let me ask Kelvin, could you just drop him down and then send him the request to speak? Other than him. Okay.
So,
I think he's back.
Saruni is still fake. Let me drop and then send the mic again.
Okay, please do that. As we prepare to conclude, as we wait for Saruni to come up and give us his 2 cents. The WRC is not the WRC. The Safari Rally will be back. I think we were renewed up until 2025, if I'm not wrong. So we have
2026.
2026. So we have a couple more years to enjoy. If you did not attend, uko na zingine za kuattend, go look at find yourself someplace comfortable to sit, and by someplace comfortable to sit I mean a team to support, learn their car, learn their drivers. Trust me, is a way better experience than not knowing anything. I'm just going for the raha. It's way I cannot even explain it. I think everybody who was there and knew what was happening there can concur with me. She can drive. Your hand is up.
Yeah, Asna, there is actually an upcoming RX motorsports event, Rallycross. You know how we used to watch these things on TV and we never could imagine that Kenya could actually host any of these Rallycross events. So there's one where Maxine, Jeremiah, we have Carl Tundo, we have Tash Tundo. Those legends are going to actually participate. So
Yeah.
that's an event to look out for. Actually, next week. I think the week after next week. Yeah, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think we're going to look up that information and make sure everybody has access to Jua iko wapi, iko where are we going to support our peeps. All right, thank you very much. You can drive. That's fantastic. Hizi ndo vitu tunafaa kujua so that we can participate if we have the monies. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us today. I am very, very happy with how things have gone today. And something very nice and exciting that is happening with SpaceYaMagari is our new, not so new, but very, very cool website. We have a couple of people writing car knowledge, car articles. So you can visit SpaceYaMagari.com, find the articles, smack right in front of your face, read them, go through the authors, go through their work, give us your opinion, talk to us about the website, and we'll be able to give you the correct answers as well as guidance. If you would like to join our writers team, we can accommodate, and it's a fulfilling thing to be able to put some of the energy that you don't know where to take into something that you enjoy, a hobby, or something that you are an enthusiast about. So please check that out. Hatuna discrimination. Ukitaka kuandika juu ya barabara pia ni sawa, ukitaka kuandika juu ya gari pia ni sawa, juu ya bike pia ni sawa, juu ya motorsport pia it's completely cool. So check that out on our website SpaceYaMagari.com, and you'll be able to get all of this knowledge put in one convenient place for you to access. So I'm not going to give the usual. Well, I think I should. No, I'm not going to give the usual one by one goodbye remarks. I'm going to do it for all of you. I'm going to say thank you to everybody who has listened. We've had quite a lot of things said here. Check them all out from our SpaceYaMagari timeline and Kelvin's timeline as well as Sisi Wengine Wote. We always retweet all of those things, so they are available everywhere. Read through, enjoy, learn. It's very interesting. While we were at the sleeping warrior stage, just next to us there were a couple of ladies there, and they just kept asking, kwani nyinyi mnajuaje huyo ni nani, ama hiyo ni gari gani, ama kwani what's happening when they are doing that or passing through a street and then going up a hill. And you were like, well, yeah, it's something that we are interested in to see and learn and enjoy. So we made really good friends. If it was you, please call me so that we can put you together, tukae pamoja, tuingie kwa space ya magari ya Magaldems, tuelewe hii maneno kada. So thank you very much. Quite the highlight with Maxine winning the Rally 3, and that's what should push you through the rest of the week. So have a good week, have a good night. Thank you very much. Check SpaceYaMagari.com. We have exciting things, as well as kama kawaida, we are open for business. Thank you very much. Anything from my co-hosts? I think that's me.
Yeah, so as well as let's not say thank you all so much for joining in. So it's always having you guys here, and we are proud of the family that we are. And thank you all so much to the speakers who've come aboard. Asanteni sana to be an engaging session. I've as well learned a lot through the King, Hysteria, and Alex through the technicalities at all WC. So it was an amazing experience. Let's look forward to the next motorsport event locally, and let's always all turn up in numbers. Let's support our local talent, because we had a 1-2-3 podium finish in the WC third category with Maxine, Jeremy, and Magari. So thank you all so much. Just a reminder, you can send us a message on info@SpaceYaMagari.com if you want to be amongst one of our writers. Just send us an email on info@SpaceYaMagari.com. As well as if you want to do with business with us, we are open for business. We have our advertisers section on the website. If you click on the website, you will note that, and we are open for business as well. So thank you all so much for joining in. As kama kawaida, kama ibada, go to Instagram, search SpaceYaMagari, hit the follow button, get to Telegram on the link in the description box up in the nest. Join the Telegram channel for real-time updates and access. So yeah, thank you all so much. It's been great having you all here, and I will see you next Monday. So from my end, it's good night, and you all stay safe and all drive safe.
Thank you, Kelvin. Alex, tupe pambio, tulala.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
What?